Hi, I'm Arshi from Astos Interior Design. Together with my team Xenia and Dagma, we would like to welcome you to today's session on accessories. So Xenia, what do you think is the most overlooked part in interior designing?
So I think accessorizing is definitely the most overlooked part in interior designing. It could make or break your design. No matter how much you spend on your interiors, if you do not accessorize, then the design will fall flat.
So Nagma, what do you think is the attitude of clients towards accessories?
So we've experienced with some of our clients that by the end of the project, they don't have enough budget and they just want us to finish the project and get done with it.
Yeah, this happens very often that, towards the end of the project, maybe the budget has escalated because jobs have, added on. And then when it comes for accessorizing, the client says, okay, come on, let's pack up and finish off and out you go. Yeah, but the thing is, it's so important that we would really request our viewers to keep 10% of the project value for accessories and styling. Xenia, now that we know the importance of accessories, how will the viewer know what type of accessory will look good in his home? What sort? How does he know what type to pick up or what kind to pick up?
So the type of accessories that you choose depends on the style of your interiors. If you have a contemporary interior, then your accessories should be contemporary. Also, if you're a traveler and you like collecting items from all over the world, then it is best to showcase them in a dedicated area, say a showcase of travels.
So Nagma, now that Xenia has told the viewers that your style, your accessories will depend on your style. So now that we know what style the client has and he knows that he's got to pick up contemporary stuff, but how will he know how many categories of accessories to pick up? What should he do? Should he pick up all the accessories and come?
No. I think he should go with the rule of 3, which is best suited for anything in interiors. First is wall art and wall painting. Second, curios and artifacts. Third, plants, which completes everything.
And also, there are basic design principles that one should follow when arranging or styling, your home. Xenia, would you like to share with our viewers what these basic principles of design are?
Right, so there are a few basic principles of design that we use. There is balance, rhythm, harmony, scale and proportion, and emphasis.
Nagma, Xenia said balance as one of the principles of design. Would you like to explain to the viewers what balance in design is?
I think balance is very important. Balance creates equilibrium. So basically, when you create a furniture, you have to have a balance in all the objects and it should go in a flow. It is not always about the furniture. Sometimes it is also about colors, textures, pattern, and a lot of accessorizing.
There are 3 kinds of balance. 1, symmetrical or formal. Second, symmetrical and informal, and third is radial. So formal or symmetrical balance is, for example, you have a beautiful mirror frame on the wall and then you have a console table, and on either side of the mirror frame you have a lamp, and that lamp is identical on both sides. So that's kind of a symmetrical balance. Xenia, would you like to take them through with informal balance?
So informal balance is asymmetrical balance. In asymmetrical balance, you try to balance the lines, shapes and colors in a room without mirroring or duplicating the objects. It's not as ordered as symmetrical balance. So for instance, if you have a sofa, you can balance it by putting 2 different objects on either side of it. So that is asymmetric.
So when you say 2 different type objects, so it would probably, like a standard would be you have a sofa, then you have a single seater on the left side and you have another single seater which is similar on the right hand side.
Right.
But with asymmetrical, you'd probably have one sofa on the left hand side and maybe a statement chair on the other side. So it's not completely symmetrical or identical, and the heights and scale and proportion can vary, right?
Right.
Nagma, your turn to explain the radial balance.
So radial balance is when there is a central focal point and there are other elements radiating around it. The best example I can give is of a round dining table radiating with chairs, they follow a same pattern and form of texture.
Obviously, the dining chairs have to be equal in number and they should be all around the circumference.
Yeah.
So it's not like you have a dining table and you just have 3 chairs,
No.
so it won't be like a radial balance. And I think the same principle applies when you're taking art on the wall for a radial balance. So you would have them radiating equal space. And I mean, you can even apply the same thing to a ceiling plan.
Yeah, that's what.
Xenia, so what other principles of design would you like to share with our viewers?
So there's also rhythm. It's another principle of design. It's about creating and repeating visually interesting patterns. You can achieve this by using the same color or shape and repeating that at different intervals in the same room. The purpose of this is to make your eyes go around the room. So for example, you can use the same color that's on a painting. You can repeat it in a pillow cover or a rug. So that's causing rhythm.
It actually kind of gives you a movement because the eye goes maybe to the painting and then automatically it goes to the cushion cover and then automatically it goes to the rug. So you're creating movement with rhythm. And then there is harmony. When all the pieces that you have put together are not fighting with each other, but they kind of create a message of, peacefulness, then there is harmony. Even though I could have different heights, proportions and scales of curios or accessories, I could probably paint them in one color and that would create harmony. But harmony is also needed in every accessory that we have put. So there is a kind of, okay, this is the style I'm following. So obviously if I'm going to put pieces that are going to complement each other, then automatically you're going to have harmony. Xenia, what is scale and proportion in principles of design?
So the ancient Greeks used this simple formula called the golden ratio. As per this formula, the ratio of the smaller section to the larger section should always be equal to that of the larger section to the whole. So this is present in nature as well.
Decode. So basically this means that if you have the golden ratio is basically a rectangle of a proportion which is magical, and nature has that proportion whenever you actually focus. So when you are going to transfer that golden ratio to interiors, you're going to divide the sections in such a way that you have 3/4 of the space of the rectangle given to a major activity or a wall art, and then the rest of the rectangle is given to some other activity or art. For example, the 3/4, which is the biggest section, which if from the rectangular, if you remove a perfect square, that area could be used for your seating arrangement. And the lesser rectangle, whatever is left out, can be used for a dining. And the same principle can be applied to the wall when you're arranging your art. Now that we have, I think, covered almost all principles of design, do you think it's enough to create that impact, Nagma?
I think emphasis is very important, and without emphasis, no design is complete. So your design definitely needs an anchor. So anchor is basically something which you see in architectural places, like a beautiful window with a view, or a beautiful water body. So basically you can create a nice atmosphere with just one emphasis in your design.
So what you're saying is that you have a nice focal point.
Yeah.
So when somebody enters, they see that first. So that becomes your emphasis.
Yeah.
And then also it will make a lot of sense to kind of arrange all the furniture around that emphasis, right? Like that focal point, so that it gives weight to that area. So if you don't have given like a weightage to that area around without putting some kind of a furniture, then it is just a nice artifact standing on the wall. So if you want to have that kind of an impact, arrange your furniture around it. It'll automatically, your eyes will go to the furniture, to the emphasis point, and come back and forth, but it will rest on the emphasis before then utilizing other principles of design to basically create kind of a movement from one object to the other. Nagma, would you like to share if there is a technique to arranging curios or artifacts?
It's a very simple technique. Basically, just create a cluster of odd numbers like 3, 5, 7. But it should go in a sequence and proportion of small, medium, large. It will create a beautiful ambience.
So you're saying if I have one curio, it's not going to create that kind of an impact, right? So I should have, say, you're saying odd. So maybe 3 artifacts or curios put together and applying Zinnia's principle of scale and proportion. You have like a larger one first, and then the medium size, and then the smallest. So you kind of create interest that way because you're creating rhythm. Correct? So it goes, your eye movement goes and rests on the larger one. And then also then there is no fighting for attention and and then the same thing goes on for 5 or 7. Idea is to basically always use it in odd numbers and in the scale and proportion that is needed. So Zinnia, are there any suggestions for paintings?
So you should always hang paintings in the room that have similar color elements that are present in the room. Another important thing about paintings is the height of the painting. The height of the painting should always be at the center of your eye level. But if the painting is too large, then you can match it with the height of the door.
Great. So similar color elements like we discussed earlier. So if you have cushion color in some color, painting should have that element of that color, and the rug probably again, so creating that rhythm and move.
Right.
And finally, we need a rug to pull everything together. Rug accomplishes 2 things. 1, it gives you a visual space effect. 2nd, it demarcates areas. Visually, if you place a carpet all around the drawing room with the sofas on top, then visually it will look bigger than just placing the carpet around the coffee table. If you have to place a small carpet, please ensure the front legs of the sofa are on top of the carpet. Demarcation wise, it gives you visual area wise demarcation in the sense that the drawing room area carpeted will look at one area, and if you place a rug under the dining table, it will give you the second area. So you don't have to erect physical partitions. And if you have to place a rug in the bedroom, ensure that both sides of the bed have rugs. If that is not possible, then definitely place the rug at the foot end of the bed and ensure the bed legs are on top of the carpet. Now that you have all the lovely ideas together to design your great home, let us walk you through the steps of execution in our next session. Click the subscribe button and don't forget to press on the notification icon.